So in chess, tactics are the most important thing that you should learn as a new player that are going to help you improve at chess. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly what tactics are and the 3 most important ones that you should learn first. So what exactly is a tactic in chess? It's a sequence of moves that force your opponent to do something that benefits you. So let's look at this position as an example. It's white to play, and there's a 1-move tactic that is very good for white. So what's the tactic? If I move my queen to h4, you see how it's putting black in check, and the black queen is behind the king. So it's forcing black to move his king because he has to get out of check. And when he moves, let's say up here, you capture the queen. So you forced black to do something that benefited you. He moved his king out of the way so that you could take his queen. That was a tactic. Now every tactic has a name. So there are different kinds of tactics that are called different things. The example that we just looked at is called a skewer. So a skewer is when you attack one piece and there's another piece behind it that is going to be in danger. So the black king had to move out of the way and the black queen was therefore in danger behind it. That's an example of a skewer. So at the start of the video, I told you there was 3 most common tactics. The first one is a fork, the second one is a pin, and the third one is a skewer, which I already showed you an example of. So right now, let's look at the fork. So a fork tactic just means one piece is going to attack 2 pieces at the same time. So in this position, if white moves their knight to d6, it's check on the king, and the knight is also at the same time attacking the black queen. So that is a fork from the knight, or a knight fork. So black has to move their king, let's say they move there, and then you can capture the queen. So again, just to recap, it was a forced set of moves that it resulted in benefit for you. Now let's look at an example of a pin. So in this position, white can move their rook to d2, lining up with the queen and the king. So this is called a pin because ideally black would like to save their queen from this attack from the rook. So they would like to move their queen away. But if they try to do that, let's say they try to move their queen over here, that's an illegal move because their king would be under attack from the rook. So they're not allowed to do that. So this queen is pinned. So this is a pin tactic. And it's good for white because since black cannot move their queen, let's say they move their king, white can now capture the black queen. So now I want to show you an example position that has forks, pins, and skewers. So go ahead and pause the video. See how many you can find in this position. It's white to play in and either fork, pin, or skewer black. And like I said, there are multiple options. So post in the comments if you find some of them and see if you can find them all. But yeah, go ahead and pause the video and then I'll explain what they are. All right, so if you're wondering, there's actually 6 total tactics, at least that I found in this position. There are 2 pins, 2 forks, and 2 skewers. So let's look at the forks first. The first fork is if you move your knight to f6, it creates a fork on the king and the queen. So if black moves his king, then you capture the queen. Let's go back. Also, knight to e5 is a fork on the king and the rook. So if black moves his king, you take the rook. So those are the 2 forks. Then there's 2 pins. So there's one pin right here, rook to d1. Ideally, black would like to save his queen, but he's not allowed to because the king would be in check. So you're going to win the queen. That's one pin. Bishop to b5 creates another pin. Again, he would like to move this piece to save it, but he cannot because his king would be in check. So you're going to capture the rook and win some material. So that is the second pin. And then there's 2 skewers. So the first skewer is queen to h7, lining up on the rook. And as black moves his king, you're going to capture the rook. Going back, the other skewer is bishop to f3. This was a tricky one. And when black moves his queen to save the queen, you're going to capture the rook behind it. So there was 2 forks, 2 pins, and 2 skewers. So congratulations if you found all 6 of those. It was a little bit tricky, especially for beginners. But this is just a good example of how to look for these types of things in your game. They show up all the time. Forks, pins, skewers. They can happen with different pieces. And so it's just good to be on the lookout for these in your games. So I want to answer a question that gets asked a lot. And it's, what's the difference between a pin and a skewer? Because both of them, you're just lining up on 2 pieces, so aren't they the same thing? The answer is no. There's a subtle difference, and here's what it is. So with a pin, the most valuable piece is the last piece in the line that's going to be attacked. So what does that mean? Rook d1 is a pin. So there's a line here, and both of these pieces are going to be attacked. If black tries to move the queen, the king would be under fire. Okay, which piece is most valuable? Well, the king is the most valuable piece, and the king is behind the queen. So this is a pin and not a skewer. The other example, queen to h7, this is a skewer because which of these pieces is most valuable? The king is. So since the king is being attacked first, that's a skewer and not a pin. Another example, bishop to b5. This is a pin because, again, the most valuable piece is the second one in the line. So the king is the most valuable piece, and it's a pin. If I were to flip these around, just for example's sake, and you still play bishop to b5, now it's no longer a pin, it's a skewer, because the most valuable piece is the first one that's being attacked, and then the lesser value is behind. And the other difference is that skewers generally force a piece to move. So in this case, the king is forced to move. Pins, they prevent pieces from being moved. So if I go back, flip these around again, it's preventing the rook from moving because the king is behind it. So it's a subtle difference, but that's what it is. I hope you learned something about tactics, specifically forks, pins, and skewers. I am going to be making a second part to this video where I go over other types of tactics like discovered check, double attack, so on and so forth. If that sounds interesting, I'll post it in the description below and also above. Check that out. If you learned something, I'd appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Thanks a lot. Take care.